Hello everyone, another day, another cast from Galactic War. Today UEF against a Seraphim battle on my map, Seraphim Outpost. So is our Seraphim player gonna be able to defend this planet and get a victory for himself? We have a rank 1 Su going also against a rank 1 UEF player, so not gonna see any high tier reinforcement units, but it's gonna be more about the skill of the individual players. Starting with double land factory, a lot of pigeons planned for the Seraphim player, and just a single factory, but a beacon is queued up already, so probably some early raiding units, mech marines, let me guess. And first engineer going for the reclaim, quite a bit of reclaim on the map, a couple of wrecks to grab, a couple of tree groups, like Emma Watson does know this map at least a little, or spent a few seconds at the beginning of the game to check where the reclaim is. And that's exactly what I'm showing right now. So nice tree groups to get with a bit of a sprinkled in wreckages from frigates and factory and whatnot. And I think it's also a T2 wreckages, which would be definitely a nice mass boost, which what is not enabled, which is a bit of a shame, is I've also placed the Seraphim jamming crystals on this map, but too many people were whining that they don't like that they see some jamming things in their game, so they got disabled by default. But for Galactic War I think I should re-enable them, since in Galactic War we play by different rules and unusual stuff is more than welcome. So as expected, a couple of mech marines were dropped, actually a bit more than a couple, and going all the way, a couple of mummies going directly for the base, and other ones are gonna go through the back, try to get some engineers expanding to these mexes and potentially wrecks. And another group is gonna go try to catch these engineers building the hydro, but there is a scout and a tank ready, and as a response from the Seraphim player, or not a response but just what he does is sending a bomber, and now he's building his own beacon, so maybe we'll see some more reinforcements from him very soon. See the bomber, scout did get the targets, so let's see how many engineers he can get. So getting the first one, no interceptor yet. Looks like this tank did manage to catch 2 of the labs, another tank catching a few more, still just a single kill. This tank doing a decent job, basically getting rid of this raid, also with the help of the combat scout. But one mech marine did manage to sneak past, but okay, he is shooting the engineers now. A bit of a reclaim going on, but not enough. So looks like it's gonna get 2 engineers, but at least the hydro is finished, so there will be some energy boost from that. The bomber is still alive, might catch another engineer still with just a single kill, but now there are 2 interceptors for the UEF player. This lab, so there was a kill of this engineer that was expanding in the back, but now it might probably die. The bomber is still alive, surprisingly, getting 2 kills, might get another one as well. Looks like it has targets and it's going for this tank. So scout is dead, tank has been damaged and going for mechs. Okay, so this mech marine is still alive, but doing some serious damage to the Hydro, but it's gonna get killed right now. So meanwhile, Emma is advancing, capturing this expansion, going for PD and a radar as expected. Another raid of a tank. I was waiting here for another engineers to snipe, but was countered. And also a bit of a raiding from the Seraphim player now. Does manage to get an engineer. That's probably that bomber. And Seraphim ACU going slowly towards the middle. Where is UEF? Also, yeah, similar path. Also going for these two mexes, potentially then continuing to secure the expansion on the right. Probably we're gonna see something similar from the Seraphim players. It is 4 mexes you definitely do wanna secure. There isn't that many mass spots that you can cap on this map, and the middle does have a decent amount of reclaim, but just 2 mexes to get. Additional bit of raiding going on. Mex is gonna die. No close engineer to rebuild it, and the tank will manage to annoy for a bit longer until these tanks catch up and kill it. Another bomber is in play, and a bit more raiding going on, so a decent raiding now going from the Seraphim player, sending more tanks to the back. Looks like he might have slightly more to deal with these tanks and force more units to be sent over there. Okay, now he's changed his mind as he's sending just 3 of them, which probably not gonna be enough. But will catch this engineer, so nice skill for him. But on the other side, there is currently no major raiding going on. There's an engineer trying to catch some Rex. Probably did manage to get a 1 over there. And now going for the factory. See, but might be too late, since this engineer is also queued up to reclaim the factory and this ice block after finishing that mex. Now it seems like the air is gonna be in favor of the UEF player, having a decent group of interceptors, managing to kill off the Seraphim interceptors. And also now with a couple of bombers to deal some damage, can definitely harass all the raiding parties or try to catch these engineers as they expand. This expansion is being killed off. Would be nice to catch the engineer. It's just barely survives. But the engineer has different ideas and is gonna automatically suicide, trying to go for the radar. So the UEF ACU is still sticking around the middle, not securing this expansion yet. There is a nice tank in the back denying this wreck and any potential engineers going there, while this energy did manage to sneak all the way to the back and is now reclaiming some extra wreckages. The Seraphim did manage to secure this expansion for now. And looks like this engineer did manage to reclaim the UEF one, so a bit more attention on the Seraphim side. Now drop of engineers over here might be going for extra base, or potentially assisting the ACU to upgrade, or just get a bit more reclaiming action going on, since there are definitely things to get. So radar, good choice to have the intel. Now a bit of a trouble with the air. There is a group of bombers harassing this raiding party for free. Indies do not wanna land here, and the UEF player is having still decent amount of interceptors. Okay, the UEF ACU arrived to the expansion now. It's gonna build it, but see, maybe this engineer even might try to establish a factory there and harass from that position. Meanwhile, UEF player pushing with a couple of Strydxrs, but this is gonna be about the even numbers for now. The bombers, a couple of them were killed off. Bit of raiding in the middle. Engineer being dropped just in a bad time for this tank to catch it. Yeah, it's gonna die. And also same size of armies on the left side, but there is the ACU and the PD, so no problems probably there for the Seraphim player. There still are these packages to grab, including these 2 T2 units, which is always a nice mass boost. Bomber getting some decent bombs, kills and a lot of damage on the tanks. Will get another pass. Ooh, so definitely this bomber did pay for itself. T2 max, and is expected a T2 air factory with enough air units to win the air. It's always a good choice to go for that T2 air and do some harassment with that, gunships, or potentially even bombers doing some cavalry bombing on the enemy army. There is still no mobile anti-air plan for the Seraphim player, so we'll be relying on air units. He has 2 air factories now against also 2 air factories. UEF player, but one being a T2, straight for the T2 pigeon, so we can afford all those T2 air units. And looks like now a couple of units will be dispatched to deal with this single engine here, which did manage to reclaim a lot, 2k mass. So really great engineer. And also a nice radar in the back, which might actually survive for a bit. Not sure if Emma is gonna see the radar. It's just out of the range. So that's gonna be a nice bit of intel in this corner of the map. The range isn't the greatest, but it's better than nothing. Does not cost that much to keep. But now a couple of Seraphim tanks going through the middle probably will not achieve that much. There is a decent amount of UEF tanks as well. See, they're going maybe for the Hydro, but that's not gonna be such a big target anymore, since there is a T2 power and T2 bombers are being ready in the base. See, on the other side we have a T2 land and a flag, which is the best counter to the T2 air. So Pigeon is gonna be up, and also additional air factory is planned. We have 4 T2 maxes, probably another ones are on the way, 5th one on the way in the back, going against Swan. 2 T2 maxes and 3rd one on the way, so Seraphim player being ahead on economy. The map is split kinda evenly, both players having their expansion, but probably this one is gonna be contested a little bit. Similar number of units, but probably slightly better engagement from the Seraphim players, so will force the UEF player to retreat. Nice kill on the radar with the bomber, so MI is paying attention. And now T2 bombers are in play and will probably try to go for the units, which can do a lot of damage if they hit. Ooh, unfortunate for Emma, those tanks that were targeted did manage to split off by accident, going away from the main group, and now flag is incoming, which is gonna be a no-fly zone. So these bombers do wanna leave. Also the interceptors, and now Seraphim interceptors are engaging, and with the help of the flag are actually getting decent kills, so I think it's time for these bombers to run. They do have a decent A on them as well, but still do not want to fly over the flag. See, do we have any plans for T2 land? That's right. Okay, yeah, we do. My bad. So T2 land is also coming up. This attack should be easy to defend, especially with the Yoshi and this amount of units, so a bit of a mass donation over here. On the right side, not enough tanks. There is a T2 unit on the field. And for Seraphim it is more like 2.5 here rather than 2, so doing a decent damage. And bombers and additional support to clean the rest of the units. But now Emma coming with ACU with a gun. And where is the Seraphim? The Seraphim is retreating all the way to the water, so playing it much more safely, not even gonna stick in the expansion to keep it secure, but retreating back to the water, while Emma Watson is pushing with the ACU, but currently has no AA, and there is a decent amount of Seraphim bombers flying around. Okay, now healthy groups of the T2 bombers are gonna be used to deal with that. And also some mobile anti-air moving in right now. ACU has no issues dealing with the T2 units with a couple of overcharges, not nearly enough units to cause problems. And slowly the Seraphim forces are pushing a bit. This PD I think is doing a good job just keeping the Seraphim units at bay. There's no RT to deal with that, no RT was dispatched, also generally no T1 RT in the mix, so the Seraphim player will have to avoid the PD for a bit. Yeah, as expected, overcharges are flying around, getting some kills, some veterancy. Engineers are just behind to reclaim. And actually Emma skipping T2 land and going straight for T3, a couple of storages. Maybe slightly dangerous. It definitely gives an extra boost to the power, but the storages can die to 2 bombs, and if they explode, might be enough damage to take out both of the pigeon. Okay, but there is a shield coming up, so that is gonna be safe. Right, this PD was dealt with the help of the bombers, but at the same time this expansion is lost, so still even map control, but looks like more economy for the Seraphim player. Now going for a couple of T2 land factories, no plans for T3 yet, so it's gonna be Yoshi's against the Titans and also a Percy. So much more Titans, five Titans to a single Percy queued up. Emma going for the mobility of the Titans for now, which might change in the future since the Percys are the better choice to deal with the Yoshis, with the range and the alpha strike that they have. There is a PD to slow down this push, and also the first Titans are incoming, so they should be able to defend this push. Probably this Titan does not want to just suicide into this army. Won't be able to deal that much damage if he dies quickly. And the ACU retreating a bit, not actually taking this position, waiting for some supports, and there wasn't that many units streaming in while the T3 upgrade was going on, so probably a better choice to retreat for a bit. 2 PDs, and soon there might be T3 units coming as well to the ACU side, or just the T3 units might just force the Seraphim player to reconsider where he wants to move these units. Definitely don't want to engage directly the ACU and all the overcharges. A bit of a raiding going on. On the left side there is an artillery to deal with the PD, but there are also T2 Yoshis coming to defend now. T2 gunship in play. T2 gunships for both players. A couple of nice transport being used to drop engineers where they need to reclaim. Still, a T3 factory has just been finished, going for the T3 tanks. Black T3 AA and a shield. Those sniper bots planned for now. It's like a couple of gunships that were sent to raid were killed by the Seraphim Air Force. Map still split evenly, and no one has managed to drop the engineers into these craters to get those extra mass spots. The Seraphim player is coming back from his hiding to this expansion. No upgrades right now. And now the Titans are slowly moving in, but there is still a decent amount of Yoshis and just 3 Titans. This looks to be kinda similar strength. But in the middle it's a slightly different story with the 2 Perseus, much slower, but they do have a much better alpha strike to deal with the Yoshis. It's the 2.5k, I think 2 Perseus can one-shot a single Yoshi, and they do have a bit of better range. Yeah, now they're gonna start picking up these units. So nice, very nice mass field to get, and there is already at least 1 engineer, and more are on the way to reclaim that. And the Seraphim player slowly taking some things in the middle. And now the engineers stop. Maybe it was too much mass suddenly. No, they just run out of orders. Now ACU retreating again into the water, it's going for this pond, which is quite far from the starting position. So in case of emergency recall, might take a bit more time to recall from there. The 2 PD is being constructed here, unfortunately deciding to shoot into the hill, as T2 PD likes to do. All these units did manage to push through, kill this expansion. And pretty decent interceptor force for Seraphim player. So now it'd be time to switch to more gunships. We do see a couple with bombers. Another group of engineers is being dropped right to the middle of this expansion to take it. So really nice management from Emma Watson. See, now we do see more Perseus. So now it's 3 Perseus against a single Titan and some flag to the mix. Good choice with the flag, definitely. Now these Titans are finding the T3 tanks. This raid is gonna be countered, but there's a couple more Titans in the back, which will cause some damage. But once they die, they will also leave a nice bit of mass behind from their wreckages. And there is no AA to help them, and definitely the Intis should not go there. Really nice aggressive T2 radar, which will give a great coverage, but might die soon. So was given a great coverage of what's going on. Let's check the intel on the other side, just T1 radars for now. So we have a T2 Maxus with one storage started. There are a couple of storages at the back as well. On the other side, no storage is built yet, and much less T2 Maxus. But all these units are slowly pushing in. Some things were reclaimed, but you manage to kill off the engineers and will kill any additional ones. But slowly am I running out of units to send to attack, so it's time for retreat, not to throw away all these units in the enemy territory. And there's also a nice push in the middle. Couple of Percies here to defend, so this expansion is not gonna be such a huge loss with the T1 Maxes, but will definitely slow down the UEF layer. The extra Percy is being dropped just to speed up the transport from the base to the battle, and T2 transport with 3 T3 tanks is going for this expansion. There is just single Titan for now, and a PD. Okay, there's one more waiting here, but 3 tanks still will deal some damage. Successful drop even over all the flag, and they will probably run all the way to the back. Might even kill a factory if they focus by the factory, which is probably what they want to do. Else they will just die. Now that it's trying to run, probably would be better try to finish the factory, since they will not outrun all these units. Still a lot of interceptors for Seraphim player. A couple of them are low on fuel, but we do have air staging facilities, so they can get refueled and repaired if needed. Reclaim is being taken. Let's check the reclaim numbers. So we have 33,000 for the Seraphim player and 36 for UEF1, so pretty even numbers on the reclaim side. Actually, this tank did manage to kill a single T1 Max, but now it's gonna get picked off by this Percy. And just a couple of smaller losses on the Maxes. But both of these factories did manage to survive. We will be able to rebuild the forces now. Another sneaky drop going on the left side, which was not spotted. So additional 2 tanks, so 1 Max is definitely in danger of dying, T2 Max. And a couple of units will have to move in to deal with it, but there are 3 Percies, so that should be enough. Also gunships flying in, but there wasn't much to kill. Maybe they didn't think that was an attempt to kill the power to the storages. Probably the shield was not scouted. Maybe the Seraphim player is slowly getting ahead with the economy. since the map control is still kind of evenly split, but there is just way too more T2 maxes for him rather than for Emma. EMD is in place, which isn't protected. It's protecting at least the core base, but not really the T3 HQ, which could get sniped if there was a TML, but there isn't, so that's safe for now. Now shields, T3 tanks and lightning tank. This amount of Percivals. Not much going on right now on the right side of the map. There is even a T2 Maxus in this expansion. It's very lightly defended, so maybe these units could move in. Another drop to this expansion, which is not gonna cause that many troubles. There is a lot of units streaming in from the main base. T1 Max is probably not worth the kill, and whatever dies here will probably be reclaimed by Emma, so not the best place to drop. The T3 tank getting a bit of raiding, and now it's gonna hide in water. First is being brought to stop it. Okay, now these units are slowly moving in, getting scared of a couple of engineers for a bit. Now we have 3 T2 air factories for Seraphim player, and going for T3 P-Gen. Well, still just a single T2 air factory for UEF player. And this is gonna start to look like a really healthy groups. Maybe might be thinking about going T3 air soon with a T3 P-Gen. Does have a bit more power available, extra T2 P-Gen, or probably in form of a lot more T1 P-Gens. So it's a 50k for a reclaim for UEF player against 42. So while Emma was being slightly behind on economy, well, maybe it's a bit more as time goes, there is at least all the reclaim going on, which makes it still pretty even game. Let's see, a couple of T1 bombers. What is the plan? Are they dispatched for going after T1 Maxes just to be annoying? ACU is still chilling in this water, and its wreckages were not yet reclaimed. This expansion dying. Really nice group of Percivals are on the move, and actually a pretty decent force right now with 13 Percivals. Are there any addition? So just 13 Percivals, but against that we have only 7 T3 tanks and a couple of T2, so wise choice to retreat for now. Definitely gonna need more tanks to counter that, or plan B, Yoda is on the way. Stalling a bit, but everything is paused to, so all the resources are going into the Yoda, so that is the plan. Just survive long enough to build it, which should be able to deal with this 13 Percivals with support of a couple of tanks. What is gonna be a response from Emma to this? Not sure if we were scouted. Probably not, since there is no T3 P-Gen. so it was not seen yet. Overall, we have pretty Perseus, so that is pretty decent still. There's decent force over here. Titans are being used for raiding to kill off any remaining units. Now this group is also moving in, so it's gonna be a bit of a hard choice probably for the Seraphim players. Even if this Yoda is finished, there will be two armies. If the Yoda moves to the one side, the other one might push through, since there are no additional tanks being constructed right now. And all these units, all the remaining land units, has bunched up into this group to slow down push of this force, which does allow the right side attack. So he 3 maxes in a core of the base. Again, still just T2 maxes, no storages even started in the core base. Everything is being pumped directly into the units. Then now the units are slowly moving in there. 2, 3 PDs, 4 PDs planned in total to defend this position. No recoil happening yet. The Yoda is still not ready, which is not good. All the units are closing in from both directions, which are forcing the remaining Seraphim units to go to defend the main base. And meanwhile, Emma is reclaiming everything that is being captured. This expansion is being taken, and engineers reclaiming whatever was left staying on the right side. Everything is going directly into the Yoda. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. Let's check now. It's 30 Percy. That is a lot of Percivals. And as I mentioned, if they are split into 2 groups, so if the Yoda is gonna decide to defend one of them, the other one might go around and kill off the base. It was looking really good for a long time for the Seraphim player, getting slowly ahead of the economy, but not sure if it was the call to throw everything into the Yoda. Well, that definitely did stop all the other unit production, which allowed Emma Watson to take control of the whole map, but a lot of the tanks are dying. Now Yoda is finally finished. Ooh, nice kill on the, at least on the pigeons, but there is a T3 pigeon, so should be fine for now. But now all the Perseus against Yoda, so we'll definitely needs to use the range and get as many kills from the range without taking damage. See, this group is retreating a bit. And Perseus are running into the water, which will hide them for now, but I don't think that water is deep enough. It's probably not deep enough, so if a certain player decides to run fire with the Yoda, it might actually kill all the Perseus for free. And this group is also hiding, running for the water now, changing mind, maybe to now it's time to push. T2 PDs are coming up in the main base, but T2 PDs will not be enough. And probably knows that, since all these tanks are retreating, including the Yoda, which probably should try to get at least a couple of kills. Okay, that's a interesting angle to fire from. Ooh, a couple of Perseus are already here, and they are gonna kill the pigeon, which is probably gonna be a GG, since there isn't that much power left. And indeed, Seraphim ACU is recording right now. Yes, so Yodan very powerful, but cannot be at the two places at once, and once it moved to the left, the other army was able to arrive from the right side and killed most of the base. So well played for Emma Watson, getting a victory with much less economy, but a decent job of reclaiming everything that got killed, and then using the Perseus well throughout the game to get the control, and at the end not getting scared by the Yoda and using the split force correctly to pay the Yoda to one direction and then attack from the other. And nothing else is gonna happen, so yep, recall finished. I hope you've enjoyed this cast. If you wanna play Galactic War yourself, check the video description with instructions on how to join and help out with the testing. And I'll see you in some other cast. Bye.